We have a very special guest with us. He's actually making a return to our channel because we got such wonderful feedback on how much you enjoyed him. And we wanted to make him available to you once again. It is my privilege to welcome back Michael Lush of Replace Your Mortgage. Michael is an expert on how to pay off your home in 5 to 7 years on your current income. He's an amazing guy, devoted father, husband, and he's devoted his life to showing patriots how they can become financially independent, no longer depend on the federal banking system. And he's going to be one of our speakers at our upcoming Patriot Entrepreneur Live virtual conference on June 4th and 5th, which you can register for by just simply clicking on the link below. So Michael, welcome back. Great to have you here.
Thanks, Steve. Greatly appreciate it. Normally I would apologize for my attire, but actually I dress like this every single day, not just because I'm at the beach, but
sweet.
It's just how I roll.
Oh, tasting independence already. I love it.
Yeah.
Also with us today is Ralph Cochran. Ralph is president of Turley Talks LLC, and Ralph is actually working with Michael in his program. So Ralph is going to give us a little bit of a backstage pass, a firsthand testimony on Michael's services. So Ralph, thanks for being with us as well.
Yeah, no, I'm glad to be here. I'm a little jealous of Michael. He's down in Florida right now. He took his whole company down there, and he's taking care of them, and they're doing planning and whatnot. And Steve, you and I know how much we love taking our company to Florida.
We do. We did the same thing. We beat you, Michael. We're about a month ahead of you.
Yeah.
So enjoy Florida, Ron DeSantis and all, beautiful place. Although you're from Tennessee, you can't complain.
Yeah, well, we were talking about that, because in Tennessee, masks or at least our part, we kind of live in a bubble in Tennessee where masks are just not really a thing. And me and Ralph know, because I ventured into Nashville, which is a different county, yeah. And they wouldn't let me in a restaurant because I didn't have a mask. So me and Ralph had to go pick another restaurant that wasn't as woke. But anyways, we're in Williamson County, Tennessee, and we just don't wear masks. And then oddly enough, we come to Florida. We're here in Destin, in the panhandle of Florida, and a lot of the stores and a lot of the restaurants have a sign. So we were actually talking about, I was like, man, we thought this was land of freedom here, and it actually is. But one of the servers look, they post that sign. All you got to do is just ignore it, and no one's going to say a word to you.
That's great. Yeah, so
that's what we've
for
been doing
liability issues or something akin to that. But
right. Mm-hmm.
Michael, we had such a amazing response to your interview last time. We were here. People, you're really opening their eyes, shall we say, to the snare of mortgages. So to just give us a quick review, quick overview on how Replace Your Mortgage works.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that there's an alternative to financing real estate. They think that the only alternative is a 30-year mortgage or a 15-year mortgage or even a 10-year mortgage. But that's not really an alternative. They're all mortgages, right? And what we explain to folks is there is an alternative. You don't have to get a mortgage. A mortgage is basically an old French word for death pledge. And so what we teach folks to do is get a different type of loan. It's called a first lien position home equity line of credit. And for the right folks that get this loan, it's far more advantageous than having a mortgage. It's what we used to do prior to 1913. It's what our great grandfathers and our ancestors used to do leading up to 1913. And really, we're just going back to basics. And those basics allow folks that are cash flow positive to pay their homes off very quickly, much more efficiently than with a mortgage, all while being liquid. With a mortgage, you're not liquid. You pay it off. The only way you're going to get access to your equity is to sell your home or refinance. However, with a home equity line of credit, if you pay it off, you still have access to your equity should you ever need it for opportunities or to survive.
Wow. Yeah, it's fundamentally different. Do you mind sharing with us some story of someone who's had their life changed with this? Have you seen the miracle cure here?
Yes. So multiple times, many times, every single day. We're a company that's, we're young. We started in 2015, but we've got 5,500 clients. So every day we hear success stories. And I'll tell you what I would also consider an alternative success, but, I'll get to one quick success story. Actually, I'm here with him this week is Edmund Fontana. Edmund was a high school principal and really thought this was a scam and too good to be true. But he's a very logical person, very facts-based, right? As a public high school principal. So he investigated, and it was actually his mortgage broker that looked into it for him and said, yes, this is something that you need to try, and this is what you need to do. So he did. And he's taken it from not just paying his home down dramatically, but also leveraging it and creating multiple side hustles and creating his own economy. So now he's able to, I think it was last year, he retired from the school as a principal. So he's no longer the 9-to-5 employee. He's not working for someone. He's created his business and works with our business and become a partner of this business. And here he is vacationing with us in Florida this week, and still living that entrepreneurial lifestyle while income is still coming in. He's bought homes in Mexico, a vacation home in Delaware, multiple rental properties. He flips properties. So he's really gotten headfirst into real estate. So that's one success story. I'll tell you another one, and I want to share the name, at least not the full name, but her first name's Ellen. So we've had some folks during coronavirus have their husband either pass away or furloughed or just a massive loss of revenue or income. And because they were clients of ours leading up to that, they had access to their equity 24/7 should they ever need it. So the HELOC actually acted as if a backup to their income. And now it can feed their loss of revenue. It can help them pay their bills. And in fact, some of the HELOCs that we help people structure, you don't even have to make a payment to it. So should you have a loss of income and you're not surviving and now you need to thrive, that HELOC actually feeds itself and can pay itself. So it's been a saving grace for a couple clients that got caught during COVID-19 and just had an unexpected loss of revenue. So I can still consider that a success story, because the alternative to that with a mortgage is you don't pay it, it's foreclosure. It's time to sell or get out. Well, these folks have been able to weather the storm because it's uniquely set up to do so.
Wow. I mean, whoever thought that payment on your houses can end up becoming a cash reserve for living expenses? Amazing. Ralph, is this all true? What are we missing here? You've been working with Michael now. You haven't flunked out of the program either. We were worried about that with you. But...
No, it really is true. I mean, I'm in this program myself, and I'm going through it. And I had my brother's also been looking through it too with me, and we're just blown away. It's the real deal. And the thing that's interesting, Steve, you talk about the parallel polys and your strategy, and talking about how as patriots now we need to go out and build parallel structures in our culture. Well, the interesting thing about this structure has been around forever. And what Michael has done, more or less, is he's gone back and rediscovered what I'm jokingly called rediscovered the lost tools of banking. You know, he's actually gone back to the past and found this mechanism, this process, and he's brought it and he's packaged and it's life-changing for people once again. But we have such a limited framework because of our education and how we've been taught. And more people are the shackles are falling off because they're realizing there's something wrong. There's something wrong, and there's got to be different ways to do things. And we're feeling that all over the place, whether it's our currency or, you know, we're going to talk to Michael's friend. Michael has a friend named Jeremy who's going to be involved talking about Bitcoin. We're going to talk to him later. And it's just amazing to even see this and say, like, all of my parents and their parents were all taught that this is the way you buy a house, and no one ever questioned it, because who's to doubt the banker, you know, first bank of trust, whatever, you know, the word trust is it. And yet they're selling this thing called a death certificate. You know, it's like
the mortgage. A mortgage. But let me just interject here, because you mentioned the lost tools of banking. Now, there's a reference there. There's a parallel there that people may not be aware of. What's the parallel in education that Michael seems to have discovered when it comes to mortgages and banking?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and Steve and I are wink, wink. We know this inside and out. It's we've dedicated our lives to this. My children are being taught what we call classical education. In fact, the gentleman who kind of rediscovered the lost. He wrote a book called "The Rediscovering the Lost Tools of Learning." Doug Wilson. A friend of Steve and I's, and he actually went back and looked at what is missing in the educational programs today, and he went back and he brought those forward to us. In fact, Hannah Owens, who works for us, graduated from a classical Christian K through 12 school and one of the few classical Christian colleges in the country too. And so
this is the way we were doing education for centuries, as it were, right?
Yeah.
Before the rise of modern education. And in the same way, Michael has found the way we were paying for homes before, correct me if I'm wrong, Michael, 1913, before the rise of federal banking, the modern banking age. And we're just basically going back to the way we used to do things. As a matter of fact, I was talking to some of our audience members from Canada, and they said that home equity line of credits are just almost the norm in Canada. That's just and most parts of the world, actually. Yeah,
Australia, it's very normal there. And so, I mean, some people look at this and says, well, it's too good to be true. It's not. And we're not inventing something new. We're just going back to basics of the way that we used to bank. A mortgage used to be an open-end loan, meaning money could move in and out freely. And then after 1913, after the creation of the Federal Reserve, because what they really want to do is they want to separate you from your cash. They want your cash in their deposit accounts. They want it in the checking and savings accounts. So after 1913, they made a mortgage a closed-end loan so that you wouldn't operate in and out of it like a checking account, forcing you to put money into their coffers, their checking and savings account. So what we're doing is we're taking a tool that's been around for decades, a home equity line of credit that acts just like a mortgage used to act, and we're treating it the way that we should so that we're more efficient with our money and pay a fraction of the interest that we normally would on a mortgage. And we just have to be careful with who's teaching us, and kind of like what you guys are talking about right now. The banks are in charge of teaching us what to consume. Well, do you think they're going to teach us to consume something that is least profitable for them? No. So that's where we come along and we tell folks what's truth and what's not, and let them make a decision of what's best for themselves.
So, Ralph, are you finding it's comparable the way your kids rediscovered classical education, or are you rediscovering banking here?
I am, and it's crazy because you think you kind of have things figured out. I've invested in a lot of real estate. And then when I'm looking into this, I remember about a year or two ago, and someone gave me Michael's name, and I'm like, what? And I'm researching it, and I'm like, it's for real. And it's like, he talks about this principle, that this high school principle, like, think about your life's change that you can do, or think about your children. Like, they're going to be, my oldest is 19, and I know, Steve, you have some young children, like, they're going to, listen, you don't have to do it the way we did it. And you don't have to and then they can have financial independence and freedom that then leads to other things that can be free. So you're not putting these shackles on yourself. And they don't need to be mega wealthy. They just need to be smart in how they do it and not get caught up in following the herd. And that's what you find now, is there's this huge herd mentality, and Michael's leading the way out of it. And it's an honor to just know him and be part of. I mean, he's one of our key partners now with Turley Talks and the Courageous Patriot Mastermind, the Path, and this whole event that we're going to be doing in June 4th and 5th. And Michael's going to be one of our key speakers at it, and we're glad to have him. And this is the reason we're doing it. We want you to be free. We want you to use these tools and Michael wants to have the impact. And we're partnered with Michael first and foremost because he is a patriot, and because he has the same values we have. But then secondly, that this is going to lead you to be able to have the freedom to be able to make the impact that you can in your family and your community and even your churches. And this is what it's all about. And so we're very, very excited about what this means for everything.
Well, I mean, everyone's getting a nice taste of what we're going to be covering on our Patriot Entrepreneur Live on June 4th and 5th. It's really exciting. I mean, once we get started, it's hard to stop. But Ralph, why don't you let everybody know if they can't wait till June 4th and 5th? If they're just too excited, if they want to join Michael in Florida right now, what can they do?
Well, what we've done here is, in partnering with Michael, we have a link below. You can go down there and you can click on it. If you want to talk to one of his team members, they're all with him right now, probably at the beach right now or somewhere out there. But they'll be back probably by the time we get this video up and running. But yeah, you can get on the phone and talk to them. And if you don't want to wait till June 4th or 5th to hear from Michael, you can talk to one of his team members. So Michael, do you want to add anything to that?
We got cell reception down here, so we're good to go. We're not allergic to helping people out and being on vacation and answering our phone. So yeah, if people want to call us this week, absolutely, we're available.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, the 4th and 5th are going to be amazing. Patriot Entrepreneur Live. Mike will be speaking there along with other Patriot entrepreneurs to give you all the tools you need to be financially independent, no longer depend on woke corporations. It's a virtual conference, so you don't even have to leave the comfort of your own couch. And you could secure your seat simply by clicking on the link below. But if you want to get in touch with Michael beforehand, see what it's all about, then make sure you click on that link, and he's going to have some staff there ready to chat for you right now. So thank you so much, Michael, for all your work. This is amazing. It is very cool. I think it's a real game changer, and you're impacting more lives than you can imagine. God bless.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Steve.
You bet.
Thank you.